Good Thursday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks, motorcycles, the dogs, the kid, my craziness, my addictions, addictions to the frickin' things that have motors. What is that all about? Wow. Hey, good morning. Thanks for tuning to my channel, and appreciate all the nice comments from those who follow me and watch me. And wow, what a beautiful Thursday morning. Hard to believe it's already Thursday. And just wow, beautiful morning. A little cooler out here. The irony is today I should have a jacket on. We got my Harley gear on. It's all about the Harleys. All about the Harleys. Can't believe it. Me and I just bought some Indians. Oh my goodness gracious. So yeah, wow, here we are heading over to the bar. What rate do I not buy a car? At what rate do I not buy a motorcycle? And you're probably thinking, rate? Yeah, rate. R-A-T-E. What amount of money are you going to borrow at a rate that you feel good about to pay back the debt? And that word rate is kind of a general word right now, because you rate things. I mean, not only do we have higher interest rates right now, but we all like to kind of look around and see what we can own and buy, and we try to gather as much information as we can to rate what we think is the better choice. And for me, you see my collection of vehicles, and it's obvious there's a lot of Fords here, but there's obviously some Mopars and Jeeps as well. So, and all my Chevy loving has gone away, even though I grew up around Chevys and had so many Chevy trucks and Suburbans and Tahoes and Corvettes, Camaro. I mean, I just had so much Chevrolet stuff when I was growing up, and just even back to like the last 15 years ago, really 10 plus years ago. But now I feel like the ratings for me are more fun in the Ford and Mopar, really the Mopar products, and then the Ford products. So come on, Pops, get the morning going. Long day yesterday because of my antics of wanting to go see if I want to go buy something again, which, where does it just come from? You probably think, where does this guy, Iceman, just end up coming up with these crazy ideas to get rid of this for that? And I get it. Those who watch my channel, I'm sure you just shake your head and think, it just makes no sense. This guy goes out and buys something brand new, and it isn't even a month later, he's selling it. Hey, what is this right here? Look what I got yesterday. Yeah, that's the new iPhone 15. Hey, did I go to Philadelphia and hang out with everybody and get one on the cheap? Yeah, did I do that? No. I have to pay for that. Even though already I'm seeing that people are buying the new iPhone 15, the Pro right there that I just picked up. I'm hearing that the thing gets very hot. They've got issues already with that brand new phone. So yeah, I haven't even had time to open it up. Just too much going on. Too many projects. I worked hard in the shop until 8 o'clock last night because of my trike rate experience. And that's why I got the Harley gear on, because now here we are with another adventure, maybe not. Come on, Pops, get up there. Come on, get up there. And get the light on. Let's see what's going on here. So those that watch my channel, they already know. Those that watch my antics, they know that I'm thinking about giving up this beautiful CVO Road Glide for a trike. Really? Yeah, I mean, anybody watching my channel, I know I've already had comments like, oh my gosh, don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, right. I mean, that's just, motorcycle. I don't have any other motorcycles, right? I mean, just dire straits, right? Okay, so yeah, it's the old Harley-Davidson Financial, where the exposure of them with me is too much. So they're just not excited about having 4 separate loans, and that's the challenge. Because this has a loan with Harley-Davidson Financial. Street Bob over there has a loan with Harley-Davidson Financial. Eagle Mark Bank, whatever you want to call it. And this bike here has Harley-Davidson Financial. They don't want to go over 100 grand. So between these 3 bikes right now, I'm capped from going over 100 grand. They just don't like a lot of debt with just one individual getting burned, especially in today's economic times. If you hear what's going on, it's definitely the change is here. So anyways, the whole idea is, do I trade out this beautiful CVO Road Glide for a trike. And why would I even want a trike? The thing that I think really has to be talked about first is, why would I want a trike? Well, it's because all the years I've been riding a motorcycle, my wife will not get on the back of any of these two-wheel motorcycles. And here's the thing. Yesterday, I didn't even give her a heads up I was going to look at a trike. Didn't even talk about it. Because I don't know. I didn't know until I rode it if I'd even want one. So I rode the trike yesterday, and I texted her a picture of that CVO trike that I rode yesterday, 2020, white collar, silver pinstriping. And she responded like, yeah. Yeah, even she responded, would I ever be able to maybe drive that? I was like, wow, that's a first. So for me, all the years I've been riding motorcycles, my wife will not ride with us. So for my daughter and I, we go out and we ride together, but the wife won't come along. So it's just kind of disappointing. Now I've met my good friend Shannon, and I hope Shannon's doing great. They're thinking about you, Shannon. And they're great motorcycle friends, and we want to go places, but the wife, she's just not going to get in the back of any of these bikes and ride with us. So it's so disappointing. So I got to thinking, you know what? If I got a trike, maybe the wife would be more inclined to go on a motorcycle ride. So yeah, and the wife really is, even last night I talked about it, she really is warming up to the fact that she would feel a little more comfortable. And I think on a trike, for the passenger, my gut instinct is to degree, it's probably a little bit more comfortable to degree. I mean, keep in mind, I know these rear trikes have a solid rear axle. Can't believe Harley-Davidson doesn't do a rear independent suspension, because there's people out there reaching out to me saying, hey, look, this isn't a bad idea, actually. CVO Road Glide right there, send it off to a trike customization place and have them make this thing a trike. And yeah, but how much is that? I mean, I would think it's 10 grand conservative, probably 20 grand. I don't even know. That's something definitely to look at. One of my viewers just actually sent that comment on my channel this morning, and I thought, that's not a bad idea. But here's that. I'm not happy with Harley-Davidson at the rate they are building these new CVOs. I'm really disappointed. I'm extremely disappointed on what Harley-Davidson is doing. And all right, so let's get upstairs. And so there's the CVO Road Glide. Do I trade it for a trike? I don't know. I'll get into more depth on that here in a second. Let's get in the office and have the face-to-face conversation and see if the dog's here or hanging out waiting for Daddy. Come on, get upstairs here. Come on, get up there. Come on, pups. Get up there. So, kind of cool. I don't think I need the heat, so I think I'm okay. All accounted for. All the puppies are accounted for. Motivated here one day and just tidy up my office a little bit. Just a little trashed right now because of that keeper dog that I had, that German Shepherd puppy. So yesterday, I can honestly say that I was so taken back about how nice that Harley-Davidson trike rode. And keep in mind that I can feel the back ends, solid suspension, solid rear axle, how it does, beach up a little bit. But overall, I mean, very, very confident, more confident than I thought. What's really weird is I rode a Honda Goldwing trike, custom, stretched, with a rear independent suspension. I didn't like it because the bike tended to follow the imperfections more. So it just sounds like the bike, it was the weirdest ride I've had ever on a motorcycle. When I was going down the road in that Honda Goldwing, in a stretch, keep in mind, that back end, it walked around. I mean, it was very, it was not a confident feeling motorcycle. I felt, it's scary. To me, it was borderline scary type of ride, where I didn't feel confident being on the open highway at any high speeds that bike would lose control. I mean, I just didn't like it. So, and I was actually very excited a few years ago to buy a really nice Honda Goldwing trike. Have I even considered looking at that? Is something I should look at? Possible. But the problem is Honda doesn't make those things. So you got to go outside customization. And will Honda buy that deal? I don't know. It's probably something I should look into it. Maybe I need just to find the right Honda Goldwing setup and keep the CVO and trade one of my Hondas. So there's a lot of variables going on right now that's just kind of going through my mind. But the real thing is, it's about the wife. It's about me trying to get my wife involved with our motorcycle experience. And how do I accomplish that? And that's what it's really more about. Because for me, there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, I can sell the CVO Road Glide, trade it for the trike, and next year I can come circle back around and buy another CVO Harley. I mean, I just, if you watch my channel, I'm sure most people are like, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, the big concern is right now, do I take a big hit on the CVO Road Glide? But the thing I was just talking about is that the rate Harley Davidson is building these things, I'm very disappointed. I'm so disappointed to think, and this is anybody there in life, and some people will take it as arrogance, and only the rich deserve the best. And I mean, well, okay. My position is, when you go spend $43,000 for a motorcycle, you put tax and tags, DMV registrations on it, you're at $46,000. If you put the added on warranty and gap on it, you're at $48,000 to $50,000. I mean, it gets very expensive. And I just think to myself, it's so disappointing that you as an individual or myself, you go out and this is a very, very expensive item. Most people can't afford this type of stuff. But yet Harley's building these things at the rate of mass production, where everybody's going to have one. I mean, I'm just like, who wants that? I mean, sincerely, for all the hard work that you do and for everything that you strive and want, and then you buy something that you feel is unique and it is special, but everybody else has one, and you're paying a lot of money for it. No, to me, that's just where I get at the position like, it's not really worth it, because it's just too much money. The whole idea is you're going to spend all that money. You can only hope that you kind of stand out for you having something that's different, unique, and not a dime a dozen. I mean, it just isn't. I mean, that's the thing. You read about the economy right now. I was reading in great depth that right now, 50%, I mean, and this is the thing. You read articles, you're getting data. How factual is it? But I mean, think it through. What they're saying right now is the average car payment now today is over $700 a month. 50% of the population cannot afford that. 50% of the population is really only in a position to afford a $400 a month car payment. Well, the used car market right now, the average car payment is like $592. So the whole car market has totally separated itself from the well-to-do person to the persons that are struggling, and more so than ever. And you just think to yourself, at what rate can that continue for the automotive industry to be able to succeed and not fall flat in its face when it's shuffled through half the country that has bought all this expensive stuff, but the other half can't, even the used car side. And they're saying that the used car market is actually down. Well, I mean, it's a no-brainer. People can't give up their car and trade it in for it to become a used car to buy a new car. So the actual used car prices are actually down. New car prices are still, the average new car price is like $48,000, close to $50,000. That's the average. But it talks about how in the car industry, it really is the upper echelon that are buying all these high dollar, very expensive cars. But it also talks about how the average rate now for a new car is 9.19%. And the average rate to finance a car used is like 14.5%. And that's where yesterday, if you watched my video, I got really just rattled, just really pissed me off, basically. It's like, here's Harley Davidson Financial that I've been loyal to since 2012. It's been 11 years that I've been buying Harleys now. And I had one time, I know for a fact I had 4 loans with Harley at one time. Maybe 5. And so I've had a good relationship with Harley. I've never have missed a payment with them. Through the pandemic, I made all my payments, went through very challenging times back then. So I've always been very diligent on being good to Harley-Davidson Financial. And for the most part, they've always treated me, well, within reason. And Harley-Davidson Financial, for the per se, doesn't really have the best rate. But I don't have the credit union. I have too many toys. I have way too many toys. I have way too much exposure. So these banks, they look at me, and my credit score is in the 600 range. It bounces around from 680 to 620, 640. I've gone as low as 580, 590. But for the most part now, I think my credit score is like 680. I'm at a 700 plus because I have too much debt. Yeah, if I got rid of a ton of things, oh my gosh, I'd have a 740, 800 credit score. But yeah, whatever. So for me, I have to pay more. I have to pay a higher rate to buy things. That's because I have a higher rate of risk to the bankers of maybe having them come get the things that I bought from them. So that's, everybody knows those basic things of rate. So for Harley-Davidson Financial yesterday, I really thought yesterday, when I went to that dealer and I rode that CVO trike, I really was taken back about how nice that rides. It's a cool looking bike. They don't make them anymore. So my position was, okay, I can always sell. Well, the first thing we did was you ran the deal with no trade. But I already knew that Harley-Davidson Financial is not going to take the deal. But that's what we did. So instantly, no. He has to give something up. He has to give up one bike or two bikes. Meaning, I have to give up the CVO, or I got to take my daughter's Lowrider ST and a Street Bob and give those up for that. But that would be too much negative equity because those bikes are too new. And it would just be, the numbers wouldn't work. I'm not putting $10,000 down on a motorcycle to buy one. I pay the tax and tags, and they usually require 10% of whatever the loan value is, and that's what I put down. So if you're not putting down a big amount of money, and then the interest rates are high because of my exposure to Harley-Davidson Financial, but not radical, but they're still high. 10.89 is my current loan on that CVO Road Glide. There's somebody out there, you should go into your credit. I don't have one. I don't have that outlet. I have too much debt. I have too many. So I got to pay the piper. But my position is I'm not going to pay it forever. I'm going to have my fun, keep it, and then eventually I'm going to get rid of it. That's just who I am. I'm not going to keep that CVO Road Glide forever. It'll never happen. It's too much money. All those toys out there, I won't keep those forever. I'll just have my fun with them, and I'll just shuffle them out. Do I replace them with something else, or I just get rid of them, get rid of the debt? That's how I am. So yesterday, I really thought that deal would go down. So I told the guy up there running the deal, hey, take the CVO Road Glide. You give me good money, and I'll do the deal. But you got to give me good money on trade. And I don't even really want to know. But so we structured a whole deal. And I was standing around up there. Then it's late in the afternoon. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to head home because I'm not going to get the thing today per se. But I was thinking, okay, I'll ride home in my Bronco Raptor, and I'll jump on my CVO Road Glide. I'll go back up, give him some money, sign the paperwork, and ride home to CVO Trike. And yesterday afternoon at 4:45, I left the dealership. I got home at 5:05, and I could have jumped on my bike and driven back up there and be up there before they close. Well, the sales guy calls me, and he says he got the deal done. And you want to hear the numbers? I said, yeah. Well, here's the first thing. CVO Trike, I think it's a little salty. They were wanting like $47.9. I think they wanted like $49.99. Then they went to $48.99, $47.40. So yesterday he said $45.99. I still think that's too much. I think that bike is worth $40. I think that's a $38,000 to $40,000 motorcycle. But all right, whatever. Where do you find them? I can't find them. So we do a deal. And I'm like, I don't even want to know what you're going to throw on that CVO. So he does the whole deal. And the guy calls me. He says, here's the thing. And it sounds really encouraging. He's like, all right, the CVO Trike's 46 grand. We're going to give you 46.3 for your bike. Wow. Okay. Well, I paid $43,199 for that bike plus tax and tags and everything else. So I'm like, wow, he's just playing with numbers to get the deal done. And he even told me that. It's like, I'm going to have to give you really good money for your trike, for your CVO Road Glide to get you under $100 grand with you putting down X amount of dollars. I'm like, okay. So for the most part, the deal per se was approved. So then he goes, well, your payment's going to be better than your current payment. And he tells me how much the payment is. And I'm like, that's like $274 more a month. How do you figure that? And then he's like, well, your interest rate's 25.9%. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no. So right there, I'm like, nope, I'm out. I said, hey, man, I appreciate your time. I'm out. No way. There's no way I'm doing this. So he's like, well, I'm like, look, if you guys want to call Harley Davidson Financial back and get that thing down to that closer to 10.89 or whatever it is, I'll talk to you. Otherwise, thanks for your time. See you later. Now, part of me is like, does he call me today? So here's what I did. I turned around right after that phone call, and I made a phone call to Eisenhower Chesapeake Harley out of Darlington, Maryland, and the finance lady there, Grace, who's very nice, and she watched my video. I think she's watching. But hey, Grace, how you doing? So I called her because she'll just tell me the way it is, and she's such a great person that I called her and said, hey, this. And she's like, what's going on? I told her what's going on. She's like, what? It's like, she's like 25%. She's like, there's no way. I said, well, they're doing the back end thing. She's like, no, you can only go 2 points above. So in the state of Maryland and most, I don't know, state of Maryland laws. On the back end, if you get approved for, let's just say, 7% financing through the finance company, the dealer can take 2%. They can say you got approved at 9%. So they can jack the rate and they get a kickback for that. I used to do this. I was in the industry years ago selling equipment, and I had the right to mark up the interest rate if the person would buy it. So she's like, they're pulling your leg. It's like they're doing a spot. They're doing a spot buy or something like that. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? She's like, what they're doing is they're going to see if you agree to pay that stupid, crazy rate. And then they're going to get that high rate, and they're going to shop that rate and find some bank that'll buy that crazy amount of money, interest, and they don't even go to Harley Davidson Financial. It's like Harley Davidson Financial doesn't even have that type of rate. She's like, there's no way. And I'm like, wow. So she's just like, no. And I said, well, let me ask you a question. You got any CBO trikes? She's like, no. I said, you got any, you got a Gold Rush trike, regular, limited, or whatever it is? She's like, yeah, I got one right here in front of me. I'm like, oh, here we go. Well, meanwhile, I said, can you just look at what's going on? So she actually ran my credit to Harley Davidson Financial, and she's actually ran it like they had a used CVO trike. So she's actually going to see what they come back with just to get the real deal, because she's really curious. At the same time, she's running a deal on that. I'm trying to think of the name of that gold paint. My friend calls it Gold Rush, and it's called something else. It starts with a P. I just can't. It's just too much information. Anyway, so now for the update of what's going on for me, this morning, my favorite finance lady at Chesapeake Harley Davidson, she's going to try to run a deal on the Gold Rush trike, and come back with some numbers. And I've already told her, like, man, I just don't know how you can give me any good money on my CVO Road Glide. And that's what I was talking about from the get-go, was I'm so disappointed in what Harley Davidson is doing at the rate they're going. They're overbuilding the CVO Road Glide. It's just really bad. Every selling dealer in my immediate area has a CVO 2023 motorcycle. Whether it's the Road Glide or the Street Glide, every one of them has one. Some of them have 2, 3, 4 units, and they're not selling. Wow, what is going on? People have backed out of deals. What is going on? Wow, I mean, this is crazy. I've never seen, in all my years of buying Harley Davidson CVOs, in all my years, I've never seen these many CVOs populate this quickly and then just be sitting at dealerships. So, all right, up there at Frederick Harley Davidson yesterday, when I was there, I was in the back end looking at the trike, talking to a really nice lady, Cheyenne, young lady in the service side, and she was saying that they're seeing a lot of people come to their dealership wanting to get rid of their motorcycle because they're in financial challenges. And they're not selling many motorcycles because the economy's down and people are struggling. Okay, now keep in mind, you're going to hear that up in the front end from the salespeople or the manager. Nope, you're not going to tell you this stuff. So her position is that things have slowed down considerably. And you could just feel the energy at that dealership yesterday. Just quiet, just, nothing there, nothing going on. So you can just kind of sense. But I keep in mind, it's a Wednesday, middle of the week of a Harley dealership going into the fall months. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but it's all changed for sure. So at this rate, I mean, at what rate can the car dealerships, the motorcycle dealerships, the RV dealerships, the boat dealerships, list goes on and on and on, continue to sustain themselves if, in fact, things really are slowing down? But here's this article I was just talking to you about what people are paying for cars, the average car payment. Now, this whole article, this is from Cox Automotive Group, whatever. They claim that car sales are on target this year to do 15.1 million sales. They claim that new car sales are up this year 6%. Now, keep in mind that you're going off pandemic challenges of 2022 of inventory not being healthy for the 2023, so you really can't get a real good read on what the true real rate of sales is, accurate. I mean, wow. I mean, so for me, those watching my channel, maybe like for R. Sanchez, one of my subscribers, he reached out and he brings up really good points. I've got another gentleman, Mark, that reaches out. He's like, I wouldn't get rid of that CVO. I got another guy, Army retired. He's like, hey, Harley-Davidson Financial did you a favor by not letting you get that deal. Well, in some ways, yeah, in some ways not. I mean, but here's the thing that R. Sanchez said, which I didn't even think about because I'm not that abreast to the trike, the Tri-Glide, I guess you could say, is that the CVO, he was saying, his comments to me, has a smaller front tire. Maybe even has a smaller rear tire. And he said, you really want to get the non-CVO. They don't make the CVO trike anymore. You want to get the regular trike that you can get because it has a bigger tire package on it. And it's a better handling bike. I was like, wow. So that's if that's the case, if the trike Harley Davidson even rides nicer than that CVO, I'm going to be really wow. Now, yesterday when I was test driving that CVO trike, it was hard to figure out how to operate that damn thing. Even the sales guy, new guy, and that's one thing you notice when you go to a lot of these motorcycle dealerships. A lot of new faces, a lot of churn, a lot of people. What's going on? We know. The rate of sales has, I guess, declined to a degree. I guess it's pockets. I don't know. I think some selling dealers say we're really holding strong. I think some other selling dealers would probably say, yeah, it's very challenging at this time. So for me, what's going to come down to today is the rate. Back to the CVO trike. Trying to get that thing in reverse. It's pretty simple, actually. You just hold down this little button that eventually engages the reverse, and the thing goes in reverse. Has a parking brake on it. It's kind of funky getting on and off that unit. So, yeah, I mean, if I had any brains, I'd probably take the wife with me and have her sit in the back of that motorcycle to go take a test ride and then see what she says. And then if she was like, yeah, I really do like this, then yeah, let's get it. But if she's like, no, I don't like it, then I just wasted my money in so many ways. But at the other time, I will say this. I really was taken back that thing was fun. That thing was funner than I could even really thought it would be. It does give you a little workout. I mean, you definitely have to manhandle that thing a little bit more. I've been riding four-wheelers for 20 plus years, so I'm used to that whole different type of steering, the whole different feel. And for anybody who's ever ridden four-wheelers and you get on that trike, I can honestly see how you'd be like, no way. Because it's so much, more, you have to really push that steering wheel to steer that back end, even has a steering stabilizer on it. So it is but for me, it's just a different ride. It's just a change up, and that's just who I am. So for me, the driving force is I have a wife that I'm trying to get on the back seat of a motorcycle. That's why I was kind of wanting to get the Slingshot R. But the only thing about the Slingshot R, downside kind of that thing is you have to crawl in and out of it. It's very challenging, but you sit so low to the ground. So you don't really get that same type of scenery that you get on a motorcycle. A motorcycle, you're propped up so you can really look around and you can really just see so many more things as you go down the road. When you're in your car, you're low, whatever, the roof's over your head, and you can have a convertible, a little different, but there's so much stuff around you, you just don't get that open feeling of riding down the road free-spirited like you do on a motorcycle. That's what's so different about riding a motorcycle. You're sitting up, and there's nothing obstructing your view as you go down the road. So it's just a much more clearer, it's just so much more fun of going down the road. Until you do it, You just don't get it. And then you overcome that fear of being on a motorcycle because it's not that radical. Everybody associates you dying on a motorcycle. Well, for the record, I think, 12 times, 3,000 people a year die in motorcycle accidents, about the average. And I think about 40 to 50,000 people die a year in cars. But you always will hear when somebody gets on a motorcycle that you're going to kill yourself. But it's like, yeah, but do you realize that on a good year, 50,000 people died behind the wheel of a car in this country? Okay, and 3,000 died on a motorcycle. Yeah, it's a higher risk on a motorcycle, but the death ratio is far lower. So yeah, so for me, the deal today, do I do the deal? It's all going to come to that rate on money. It's all going to come down to what will they give me on my trade. And once again, I really feel like Harley Davidson, I'm so disappointed because this new Puma guy with Harley Davidson came in, he revamped the whole marketing plan. He totally shut down the overproduction of CVO motorcycles. Be so lucky to get one. And here he is now mass producing the CVO. Huge mistake, huge. And so at this rate, when does Harley Davidson have to really kick itself in the face and has to offer discounts in the CVOs? I mean, when does that happen? It's going to happen. I mean, it's happened years past. I've bought discounted CVOs, brand new. I bought my first CVO from Baltimore Harley. There was a leftover model that they took like $3,500 off the bike. Frederick Harley wouldn't budge on their price, but you find the right dealer. So there's no doubt in my mind as time progresses, and that's my excuse me, that's my huge concern. Is I got this CVO Road Glide down here. It's in a tank. It's in a tank. The $43,000 bike, you're going to the dealership. They're going to say, "We'll give you $30 for it." 30, a brand new redesign. You think I'm making this stuff up? Yeah, that's what we go 30, 31, 30. They may go 33 maybe. So my gut instinct is today, they're going to offer me 39 grand, 38, 39 grand on my CVO. That's my gut instinct. So here's the kicker. All right, you taking 2-3 grand off of the trike? I mean, if they're discounting that, then yeah. But if they're like, nope, then I don't know. So there's nothing, not a done deal by any means. But oh my gosh, at the rates, the interest rates, they're talking about the Fed. They're talking about this inflation is not taming down. And the barrel of oil now, it's kind of moving on from the motorcycle addictions, my habits, but maybe now more people have a better handle on what's kind of going on. And it's not a done deal by any means. It's just me weighing my options. And now that the CVO trike won't go down, there's no urgency per se to do anything. If I do something, we'll see. So now look at the rate of what rate are you paying for gasoline? And there's a whole article now on Cushing, Oklahoma, is where the major oil supplies are located in our country. And they're saying that the supplies are at its lowest level in many years. And the barrel of oil jumped to $93 yesterday, close to $95 when it was under 90. So they're now saying the $100 barrel of oil is coming, is really going to be here. The rate that you're going to pay for gasoline really is going to be much more expensive. We're going into the winter months, so the fuel for heating oil and other things are going to be used to energize the people to be able to stay warm. And overall, the Russia war, the Russians in Saudi Arabia, they are truly cutting back their production. It makes no sense that we're in this war with Ukraine and Russia and how screwed up it is. It's so screwed up, it's unbelievable. I mean, at what rate are people to continue to support these just incompetent leaders in our country? It is disgusting. It is so bad that we have people supporting these individuals that are running this at this rate. At what rate does this country eventually just crash? I mean, does it? I mean, it's radical stuff, but I am so just disgruntled reading this article about how the barrel of oil is now going to continue to rise because we have the lowest level of oil inventory in modern times. And the world market, so remember, wasn't Russia supposed to be cut off from the selling of oil? But yet they're part of this problem. Russia's intentionally, it was Saudi Arabia intentionally driving down the production of oil to drive up the price of the barrel of oil to enrich themselves. Wasn't Russia a year ago or this past winter supposed to be capped at selling oil at $60 a barrel? What is going on? Who's in control? I mean, it is beyond unbelievable. How stupid are you? Did you see the latest? Some major airport where they stored all these bombs was targeted and blew up. Was that for the Russian side? Or was it for our side? Was it for us? You know, what rate are we giving all our ammunition up to the Ukraine war? We're depleting our own inventories. People are arguing along, oh no, we've got so much military warfare, blah, 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 da, da, da. How do you know that? How do you know? It cracks me up when people start getting radical and start telling me the way it is. And it's like, but how do you know? I mean, do you work for the military? Do you work for the warfare arms, all the ammunitions? You actually work for that division, actually know all the stockpiles of everything? I mean, are you kidding me? At what rate does your brain think? It doesn't operate properly. I mean, last night, oh my gosh. Last night, we see that freaking GOP debate. How could you even watch it? The most ridiculous debate I've seen in my life. You know what they were targeting? Donald Trump. Here's the GOP party guys. Ron DeSantis, Ramaswamy, Vivek Ramaswamy, Scott. These people, Chris Christie, they're targeting Donald Trump. This is beyond unbelievable. Are they targeting Joe Biden? They did a little bit. Chris Christie's calling Donald Trump Donald Duck. Beyond unbelievable. We are in. At what rate does this country just not totally implode itself with these most incompetent leaders of ever in our lifetime? Look at Kevin McCarthy and the infighting of the GOP party because of the Ukraine war, that people are sick of giving Ukraine all this freaking money. And now is the government going to shut down? Look at the UAW. At what is the final rate they'll finally accept their compensation to stop striking? At what rate? At what rate will it take them to finally cave, or for the GM, Ford, and Stellantis to finally cave and bow to their rates? But we're already seeing that these higher rates are steering people away. So, I think anybody that's common sense says UAW gets all their wishes. The rate of a price of a car, it's going to be through the roof. So, is the union going to continue to have jobs at the rate they have today? And that's the thing. Everybody's basing everything off of how much money's being made now. Does everybody believe that this big auto can sustain its huge profits? Right now, they're saying that EV vehicles are at 97 days of inventory. The overall automotive industry is at like 67 days of inventory. They're saying that even the strike, it would be really November before dealers would maybe start seeing an impact of less inventory. I think the dealerships just can only hope and pray this UAW continues to stay on the sidelines for at least another 30 to 60 days, because it's going to give them the power to charge you a higher rate for everything. Higher rate for the car, higher rate for financing. Think about it. If they only have the car that you love and want, and you got to pay the highest rate to buy it, and then you're only approved the highest rate of interest, but it's only the one left and done. You can't get another one until next year, or maybe it's the end of the model year, never get one. What are you going to do? That person's going to sign off on the highest rate price of a car and the highest rate interest rates. That's what people do. I'm sure that's what the Harley dealer yesterday was thinking. Be so lucky to get this last CVO trike that this guy the Iceman will pay whatever he has to pay in interest to be able to buy it. No. You don't really know who I am. I'm not that desperate. Good Lord. So anyways, it's all about the rate. At what rate do we continue to stay stable and not, when does the violence prevail in the streets? At the rate that we're witnessing of what's going on in our country, of the illegal immigration, of all these immigrants coming in here by the masses. At what rate does these inner cities, it just turns into a fiasco. You just know it's a ticking time bomb. When the government quits subsidizing all these illegals, what are they going to do? When they're being told to get out of these hotel rooms and they're not being given any monies to eat. I mean, where's that all going? Oh, it's going to get radical. I mean, we are witnessing at this rate the ticking time bomb of probably something we've never seen in modern times. I hope I'm so wrong. I really do. I don't want to be the naysayer, the negativity guy, but you just have to step back and look at what's going on. The interest rates are through the roof. Car prices are through the roof. Home prices are through the roof. Rents through the roof. Food's through the roof. Gas prices, energies through the roof. Illegal immigration through the roof. Lawless cities through the roof. Disrespect of others through the roof. Crime through the roof. Homelessness through the roof. Drug addictions through the roof. I can go on and on and on. Public education. Here's the Secretary of Education telling parents, you need to shut up. You need to shut up. You do not need to voice your opinion of how teachers teach in the public school system. He didn't say those exact words, but that's what he's implying. Yeah, the Secretary of Education is telling parents, you just shut the hell up. Our teachers can do what they want, and you have no right to start challenging them what they're doing. Oh, my God. I mean, at what rate are people to continue to put up with this stuff? I mean, come on. Wow. Beyond believable. All right, that's it. Long video. I know. I talk a lot. I get it. Hey, everybody. Yeah, at what rate am I going to go and buy a motorcycle? I don't know. We'll see. Hey, everybody. God bless. Stay safe. And thanks for watching. Share the channel. And, what am I doing today? I need to work my ass off. I have so much work. I got to put my nose to the grindstone and start freaking doing a ton of work. And does something play out today? I don't know. It really should go to tomorrow. That's really would be maybe the day if I do it. Or do I do it? Who knows? Stay tuned. Have a great day. I got to go to work.